This is Tracking the Week. On Monday, several residents of Ikorodu in Lagos State have been sacked from their homes and currently helpless on what to do to salvage their properties and investments due to torrential rains that have flooded most parts of the town. Structures in communities around the swampy area that has direct connection to the sea like Lara Igbe, Banana Estate, Ijede Agbele, and many more have submerged in the flood that followed the rain that has been falling since last night non-stop. Business establishments are not left out as several shops, poultry and farms have been taken over by the floods, and there is possibility of loss of revenue of several billions of naira. Nigerian Society of Engineers NSE once advised the Lagos State government to intensify its flood management efforts so that communities in Ekpe, Etiosa, Amoadafi, Ojo, Kosofe, Lagos Island, Apapa, Ibeju-Lekki and Ikorodu local government would not be submerged. Many local government areas in Lagos State are prone to various levels of flooding due to its closeness to the Atlantic Ocean and low elevation, which makes many rivers emptying through it into the Atlantic. Still on Monday, President Bola Tinubu warmly congratulates Nigeria's female basketball team, the Tigers, on their remarkable achievement of reaching the final of the 2025 FIBA Women's Afro-Basket for the fifth consecutive time following a hard-fought victory over Senegal. The president commends the resilience and dominance of the reigning champions who have now defeated their Senegalese rivals for the seventh time with a historic 75-68 win at the Palais de la Sports, Trècheville, Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. The president assures the Tigers of his support as they pursue their fifth consecutive Afro-Basket title and seventh overall. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has conferred national honors on the Tigers following their historic triumph at the 2025 FIBA Women's Afro-Basket Championship, and in addition to the prestigious honors, President Tinubu announced a cash reward of $100,000 for each player on the championship winning team. Members of the technical crew will also receive $50,000 each in recognition of their role in the team's success. Aside the conferment of national honors of officers of the Order of the Niger OON on the players and their officials, the president also announced the allocations of 3-bedroom apartments to each of the players and their coaching crews at the renewed Hope Housing Estates. Also on Monday, the West African Examinations Council has announced the official release of the results for the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates in a statement issued via X on Monday, August 4, 2025. The examination body confirmed that candidates who sat for the exam can now access their results online. The West African Examinations Council is pleased to inform students who sat for the examination for school candidates 2025 that the result has officially been released today, Monday, 4th of August 2025. Candidates are advised to visit the council's result portal to check their performance. On Tuesday, the Federal Ministry of Education has frowned at what it described as a sponsored smear campaign at the Executive Secretary of the Universal Basic Examination Commission, Aisha Garba. A statement by the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said recent media reports accusing Garba of administrative misconduct and disregard for the rule of law were baseless, malicious, and politically motivated. The reports allegedly circulated by an unknown group operating under the name Education Rights Activist Coalition were dismissed as falsehoods aimed at undermining ongoing reforms in the the basic education sector. According to the minister, Aisha Garba is an internationally recognized education expert with over 24 years of experience, including 15 years at the World Bank, adding that her leadership at UBEC is marked by integrity, competence, and alignment with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Alausa insisted that no financial breaches or infractions had been recorded under Garba's watch, adding that she had built strong governance and fiduciary control systems within the commission. Also on Tuesday, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has arrested 4 individuals, including 2 sisters, for staging a fake kidnapping in a bid to extort 5 million naira from their father. In a statement issued by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, SP Josephine Ade, he said the case was reported by one Innocent, a resident of Jikoi Phase 2, who alerted the Jikoi Police Division that his 16-year-old daughter, Leadway Innocent, had gone missing. He explained that she had left home on July 18, 2025 to sit for an examination at Government Secondary School Karu, but never returned. Shortly after, Innocent received a call from an unknown number demanding 5 million naira for his daughter's release. Police operatives stormed the location and found Leadway Innocent in the company of one Tina Mayowa, the wife of Mayowa Adedeji. Both were reportedly seen eating and chatting with no signs of distress. Further investigations led to the arrest of Leadway's elder sister, Joy Innocent, and her boyfriend, Mayowa Adedeji. Findings revealed that Joy had conspired with her boyfriend, who is legally married to Tina Mayowa, to stage the kidnapping of her younger sister in an attempt to defraud their father. FCT Commissioner of Police CPR Jawa Dewale condemned the act, describing it as a shocking act of betrayal and manipulation within the family. On Wednesday, President Bola Tinubu congratulates Nafisa Abdullahi Aminu, Rukaya Mohammed Fema, and Hadiza Kashim Kali on emerging world champions in English language communication skills and debate at the 2025 Teen Eagle Global Competition in London, United Kingdom. 17-year-old Nafisa was named the overall best in English language skills. 15-year-old Rukaya emerged as the overall best in debate, while Hadiza clinched the Outstanding Talent Award gold medal. Bayo Nanaga, special advisor to the President Information and Strategy, in a statement said President Tinubu commends the exceptional young Nigerians for the feats and affirms that the nation's future is much brighter with many of its youth as repositories of excellence. The President also commends the institutions of learning and states that these accomplishments are a treatment to the quality and potential of Nigeria's education system as a nurturer of some of the world's brightest minds. President Tinubu believes that education is a critical element for national development, hence his administration's significant investment in the sector and the removal of financial barriers for indigent Nigerians seeking higher education through the Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NELFund). The President encourages Nafisa, Rukaya, and Hadiza to remain steadfast in their studies and wishes them continued success. Still on Wednesday, President Bola Tinubu has expressed sadness over the death of former managing director of the Concord Group of Newspapers, Dr. Doyinshola Hamidat Abiola. The President described the late veteran journalist who died on Tuesday at the age of 82 as a trailblazer journalist and a soldier of democracy. In a statement issued by the State House on Wednesday, Tinubu said Doyin Abiola, 82, was an Amazon and an icon in Nigerian journalism. She stayed in the journalism course since starting as a reporter with the defunct Daily Sketch after graduating from the University of Ibadan in 1969, majoring in English English and drama. She broke the gender barrier, becoming the first woman to edit a national newspaper and the first managing director of a daily newspaper. Her immense contributions to journalism and gender equity laid the foundation for generations of women. Her impact on our democracy was even more profound, the statement read in part. Similarly, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has expressed deep sorrow over the death of Dr. Doyin Abiola, the widow of the late winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola. The governor, in a condolence message issued on Wednesday in Lagos by his special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Gboyega Okosile, described the deceased as an Amazon who left an indelible mark on Nigeria's media landscape. He stated that Abiola made a significant contribution to the growth and development of Nigerian journalism. She rose through the ranks as a reporter, features writer, group features editor, and ultimately became the first Nigerian woman to serve as editor and managing director of a national daily. The death of Dr. Doyin Abiola is a great loss to journalism and the media industry in Nigeria. On behalf of his family, the government, and the people of Lagos State, the governor extended his heartfelt condolences to the Abiola family on the passing of an accomplished journalist and media administrator. Also on Wednesday, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB said it has introduced strict new rules for under-16 candidates seeking admission into universities for the 2025-2026 academic section. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede announced the measures during a virtual meeting with vice chancellors, stating that the board will no longer allow psychologically and emotionally unprepared children into universities. This follows a government policy setting the minimum admission age at 16, with rare exceptions for outstanding candidates. To qualify, Oloyede said underage applicants must score at least 320 in UTME, score a minimum of 80% in post-UTME, and obtain 80% in a single sitting of WAEC or NECO. He added that candidates cannot combine WAEC and NECO results, noting that science students must include mathematics and art students must include English language. On Thursday, President Bola Tinubu has nominated Engineer Abdullahi Garba Ramat as the new Chairman Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC). Engineer Ramat, 39, is an electrical engineer and administrator with a PhD in strategic management, among other qualifications. Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, in a statement said President Tinubu also nominated 2 commissioners for the NEC. They are Mr. Abubakar Yusuf, Commissioner of Consumer Affairs, and Dr. Faoud Olayinka Nemashan, Commissioner of Finance and Management Services. All nominations are subject to Senate confirmation. However, to avoid a leadership vacuum in the critical regulatory agency, Onanuga said the President directed that Engineer Ramat assume office in acting capacity pending his screening by the Senate as stipulated by the law. He said President Tinubu urged the new appointees to use their knowledge and experience to discharge their functions and work assiduously to advance the administration's power sector vision. Still on Thursday, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has released full details of the locations for the upcoming continuous voter registration exercise, which is set to resume nationwide this month. The move marks another major step in the Commission's preparations toward deepening citizens' participation in the electoral process ahead of future elections. In a press statement released by Sam Olumeko, National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, the Commission said the CVR will begin with the online pre-registration on Monday, 18th August 2025, followed by in-person registration from Monday, August 25, 2025. Both processes will run simultaneously for 1 year, ending August 30th, 2026. The registration exercise will take place across 811 centers, comprising 774 local government areas and 37 states and FCT offices, operating from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday, excluding national public holidays. Also on Thursday, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo has directed the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) to place ace musician and Afrobeat maestro King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, also known as Kwam1, on a no-flight list pending further and full investigation of the near-fatal incident that occurred at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja on Tuesday. In a tweet cited on the minister's official X handle, the minister lamented the sudden loss of sanity at the local wing of the airport, saying the musician must be sanctioned. The minister alluded to the fact that NCAA had temporarily suspended the licenses of the captain and pilot of the Value Jet airline for expressing such anger instead of exercising caution, saying the defiant passenger must also face penalty. He therefore directed that Kwam1's case be reported to all airlines, both local and international, for full implementation of the no-fly order. The minister maintained that anyone or any airline who flouts the directive risks withdrawal of their operating license. On Friday, the federal government has reiterated its avowed commitment to tackle the lingering insecurity in the country with renewed vigor through an information and communication technology-driven mechanism. The Special Assistant to the President on ICT Policy, Office of the Vice President Dr. Saliu Dasuki, disclosed this in Ibadan at the launch of a new digital location platform known as YardCode, an ICT-driven addressing application that allows community-driven geodata for Nigeria, developed by Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Nigeria, RAIN. According to Dasuki, the federal government is committed to leveraging technology to enhance security measures across the nation. He noted that the initiative will go a long way in addressing the challenges posed by insecurity. Dasuki, who spoke virtually, further asserted that the integration of ICT in security protocols is essential for effective governance and public safety. He pointed out that the YardCode application will facilitate better communication and coordination in emergency situations, which is crucial for timely responses to security threats. Lastly, on Friday, a peaceful protest took place today at the force headquarters in Abuja, where demonstrators demanded the immediate release of activist and publisher Omoyele Sowore. The protesters described Sowore's continued detention as unlawful and a violation of his constitutional rights. Speaking at the protest, Sowore's legal counsel, Barrister Alex Oketa, said his client has the legal right to remain silent during police interrogations, a right protected under Nigerian law. He stated that Sowore was not obligated to make any statement and that the police are required to follow due legal procedures in such circumstances. Barrister Oketa further accused the police of detaining Sowore beyond the legally allowed time frame, causing calling the action a breach of constitutional limits. He urged the police to respect the rule of law, warning that any violation of constitutional rights undermines democracy and threatens the integrity of the justice system. He called on law enforcement officers to carry out their duties in line with the Constitution and to protect the rights of citizens rather than violate them. And that's all we have for you on Tracking the Week.